present for developers or in housing community meetings, things like that. But this is a little bit of a different project, and the city was involved in the beginning stages of this, so we wanted to kind of share with you what that looks like. And so this is actually a project that's being proposed on borough BLM or public lands, and so the city submitted a reservation for affordable housing. Services for the city of Las Vegas, and Ashley is one of our team members. She is a senior analyst, and she's been working on this project for the city. And so we don't generally present for developers or in housing community meetings, things like that, but this is a little bit of a different project, and the city was involved in the beginning stages of this, so we wanted to kind of share with you what that looks like. And so this is actually a project that's being proposed on borough BLM or public lands, and so the city submitted a reservation for affordable housing. Yeah, and so under the SNPLMA. So actually, did you want to talk about this since you kind of had
Sure. Hello everybody, again, my name is Ashley. So the Bureau of Land Management has what we call SNPLMA, which is the Southern Nevada Public Lands Management Act. In the RFP, it was a stipulation. Also in the BLM policies and procedures, it says that there does need to be a period of affordability, because with our initiative of establishing affordable housing stock, we don't want them to transfer to fair market value and displace the people that we say that we're trying to house. So
the city's going to guarantee that the developers aren't going to change things in a couple years from now.
Correct.
So for 40 years, the city is going to guarantee us. For 40 years, the city is going to guarantee us.
Can I answer your question? Okay, so we have a disposition and development agreement that we are negotiating and signed with the developer. Within that agreement, it states for 40 years it has to say 55 and up development. If they do not adhere to the rules and regulations within the development, we claw it back, so we can take the land back, and so can the federal government. So it is in everyone's best interest that it stays what it is, because we are going to, as the city of Las Vegas, we are going to do our part to ensure that it stays
for 40
a
years.
55 and up.
Not what goes across the beltway.
Is it going to take up that whole block of space?
It is. So the dirt that sits in between the homes to the north, so imagine that, the homes to the north, then you come to the south and Hickam, dead ends into a cul-de-sac, and then on the west side is Jordanville, and on the east side is the 215. It's that square dirt piece that sits there now. Not to be confused with this square dirt piece that sits over here also off of Hickam, but that's off of Cliff Shadows Parkway. That is not what we are talking about. I've had a call or two about that on which one it is. It is not this one, it's the one right next to the 215, okay? Are we clear on where we are? Jordanville sits here, and then there are homes along the north, across Jordanville, and then south of Hickam. Again, this boundary is the 215. The project is taking access off of Hickam. Will come in off of Hickam. There is not a proposed access on Jordanville. Right now there's no proposed access on Jordanville. So both the main entrance as well as we'll have a fire or emergency access gate. You're required to have a second entrance. Both of those are being shown on Hickam Avenue. The project is proposed to be gated. So once you come in off of here, there is a gate that will open. We do interviews with applicants, and ultimately the city awarded the RFP to Palindrome for this development. That was in April of 2024. The beginning part of what I'm doing, so there's a whole RFP process that happens, and then what has to happen from there is you have to get this in land use. So the person that asked if this was a done deal over in this area, my process is not a done deal. I have to do this public hearing process, this is step one, to do this neighborhood meeting tonight, and then it will go to the Planning Commission. Right now that is scheduled to be on February 11th, okay? That's at City Hall at 6 p.m. It is scheduled to be on the agenda for February 11th. Then the city planning commission will take into account staff's recommendation, neighbor input, applicant presentation, and then they'll make a recommendation. Their recommendation can be approved, their recommendation can be denied, their recommendation could be a hold, go back and make some changes. They could do any of the three. But then after that, whenever the planning commission ultimately makes their decision, the item moves on to the city council, and it's another public hearing. Also at City Hall, that's during the day, hearings start at 9 a.m. So assume for a minute that we are moving forward on February 11th, then the hearing for this item in front of the city council would be in March. I think March 19th, somewhere in there, okay? It'd be roughly 30 days later in front of the city council. And senior projects, I represented a lot of these all across the valley, is that intentionally so, none of the units have internal laundry. In the units, there are laundry rooms within the buildings, but you have to come out of your unit to use the laundry room. It's actually been proven that otherwise sometimes people don't socialize, and that's really not good for their mental health at all. So that's one of the ways that you get people to come out of their room, especially if they don't know anybody, is you go into a laundry room. So that's an intentional move. And then right in this area, we're gonna have a pool. It'll have a lift on it. So the closest pinch point is just this little part right here, and it's 45 feet to that north. Then if you go over to the west, this is, the closest pinch point is right here, and it's 41 feet, but then you have to include the street. So that's just 41 feet to the edge of our property. Then Jordanville is a street, and then across Jordanville are the homes on this side. So you add that to that dimension. Down here on the south side, we've got 11 feet is this building 2, D2 off of here. And then of course you have to add Hickam, which is 60. So by the time you add that up, it's about 71 feet, away from anything that's starting over here on the south. So that kind of gives you, a bit of a feel.
It is on this side. When you get to this corner, we're almost 20 feet lower. So this is a building that's about 25 feet tall. And it's going to be, the roof line is going to be about level with the road here. So quite a bit lower.
Level with what?
Yeah.
Public
Yeah,
fire?
that's what they said.
So let's start with that. And now you guys, for the first time ever, are bringing us into a room and you're telling us we'd like to put 3-story apartments. We don't care if it's seniors, we don't care if it's families, we don't care who it is. Because those apartments and those townhomes that so many others talk about off of Alexander, those are 2 stories. Those aren't 3-story apartments behind us. Those are 2 stories. And those are part of our views as well. So now you want to come in and throw a 3-story up? And so when I asked about grading, I was asking if you're going to take it down so that those 3 stories are even with the 2.
Enhancement to the residents. We thought a library, maybe even a fire station, something that would help us rather than provide housing for people similar to us, but who can't afford to live in the houses we are fortunate enough to live in. And with no, supposedly, they have all this transportation. There are no bus lines that go by there. The nearest grocery store of any size is a tiny neighborhood Walmart over a mile away.
Or terrible at the other end.
The amenities don't exist for people who are maybe without transportation.
191, let me go back over it. There's 282 units total. There's 191 1-bedrooms and 89 2-bedrooms.
As far as infrastructure goes, I would have to believe that this type of project is going to require some type of suppression in the buildings.
Like
safety
fire
suppression.
sprinklers
Yeah,
and
yeah,
stuff,
yeah.
yes, yes.
So is the city pressure going to be enough to do that in these structures? Or are they going to have to introduce fire pumps that have to be tested routinely all the time? It's going to create disruption to the community. When they're doing all their testing and whatnot, that means have to take into consideration.
Let me
It's quiet, it's safe, it's gated, it's wonderful. We like our neighbors, we like our peace and quiet, and that's all about to change. So, yeah.
And who are you?
I am
Eric. I'm the husband.
He's the
Yeah.
Wife. Oh, okay.
But yeah, I mean, we moved out here for a reason. We wanted to be away from everything, and now it sounds like they're gonna threaten that.
Yeah.
You know, the area cannot support that many people, and it's just uncalled for. There's got to be a better area. The most important thing is the lack of, like the woman brought up, the transportation. You know, elderly people need public transportation. Cliff Shadows has turned into a nightmare. As the traffic increased, that street has gotten more dangerous for the runners and the bikers and the walkers, and it's just uncalled for.
Wow. Well, thanks for taking a couple of minutes.
I am I, they are they. I am I, they are they. What's your question?
Yeah. Oh, you've already answered it. What are you guys doing here?
We're here to make sure that this development doesn't come to reality.
Boy, is that the truth? Is it working?
No, because it's a done deal, just like all the other ones. It's already been in stone. This is going to happen.
Who you are and what you do?
I'm Gory. I'm a principal at Sarah Architects, and we're we're designing this project. And this is my colleague here.
I'm Charlie Baxter. I'm project architect, Sarah Architects.
And he's designing this project.
Designing the project.
Thank you for being here and sharing your thoughts. We will make this an awesome project and great asset for your community.
Well, this will be posted, and we'll see what type of response we get.